Hello.
Dumb Guy Live. It's Dumb Guy Live. We're here. We're doing a
back.
show. We're the only Japanese wrestling podcast in the world.
That's right.
And we're bloody here. Dumb Guys are live from Icon 115. I don't know who that. I have never seen Icon 115 in my life. Isra was in fact first. Good job, Isra. But you're like a geek about it, right? You're like a little nerd with glasses. We got Alexia. We got Lexi here. Hi.
Hello, mate.
Hello.
Hello.
And hello, Scarecrow.
Hello.
How's it going? And this fact cannot be disputed. It is in fact Dumb Guy Live.
No way.
That's facts. That's facts AF actually. My Portuguese friend is here. Joao Sequeira is my it's my accurate pronunciation of that. Okay. All right. And we're ready to go. Jamie, how's your week? Oh, by the way, I should mention the elephant in the room. Our baby boy Murph is gone. He went to attend yet again another rally for the former President Donald Trump. He was also implicated in the storming of Brazil's capital a couple weeks ago. So he's off dealing with his own stuff. And I also heard he may have caused an earthquake in West Asia there. So a lot of stuff. That's sort of, we're speculating as to what he's up to, but regardless, he could not be here today. So Jamie, with that being said, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. You know, we've had some big shows this week, some big matches. And yeah, I'm looking forward to getting into it. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It was a big time week for Japanese pro wrestling. This is by the way, we're also a politics and we're also a news podcast, so we're going to be talking about Turkey and Syria a lot on the show, definitely. Yeah, all the dumb guys are right. They're right there, and they're like that way too. So it was a huge weekend in Japanese professional wrestling. There was like so much that happened. Like I would say pretty much every major promotion had a major show except like DDT, which obviously was coming off a big world title change just a week prior. But obviously one of the most exciting tours of the year in Japan, I would say, in Japanese wrestling is New Japan's New Beginning tour, because it kind of sets up, it gets us some of the away from Wrestle Kingdom, starts to set up the rest of the year, really starts to establish, some of the storylines we're going to be looking at for the New Japan Cup, and then into Best of the Super Juniors and Dominion and all that type of stuff. So this weekend we had our New Beginning in Sapporo. We had New Beginning in Sapporo. I got it mixed up with the previous one, which was...
I get them mixed up all the time. I can't remember exactly.
What was it? Nagoya? What was the one that they had the Great Okada? Oh yeah, Nagoya. Yeah, weird. Anyway, two shows, 2 night stops in Sapporo. That's like Hokkaido. Yeah. So first show, there were like 3 main matches on both of them. Let's get right into it. First show, I want to start with the main event on these shows. First show was main evented by the way, did you guys know, straight from Romanian prison, we are in fact Andrew Tate's favorite podcast?
Shout out.
Wow, I didn't know you were a fan. Yeah, wow. Okay, all right. Well, best of luck to you, Mr. Tate, because you're gonna need it. But I appreciate the $1.99 super chat regardless. So main event of the first night of New Beginning in Sapporo was, in fact, Tetsuya Naito versus the up-and-coming rising star Shota Umino, the Roughneck. Jamie, a lot of the reception for this match was like kind of mixed, I would say. It's rare to see a singles match main event with no, it's not like we're doing interference like Bullet Club stuff that's wrestled cleanly, right? Between 2 big stars and I would say that's what Naito and Shota are. That is received as poorly as this one was. And again, most people aren't saying it's like a bad match or anything, but what was your take? What was your take on the match? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it told a good story? Like what was your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I probably just agree with the general opinion. Like, I don't think it was bad at all. You know how good the 2 guys in there are. I've loved Shota so far. Back in New Japan proper. But yeah, I don't know, just something. I'm not exact. I can't really put my finger on it, but something like wasn't there for me with this match. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't bad by any means, but didn't really have that main event New Japan like two top stars feel for me. I don't know. How about yourself?
I think it. I think I liked it a bit more than most people. I really did enjoy it. It was not anything blow away or anything like that. I do think that the closing sequence, as one would expect, was really good. I also thought it was plenty dramatic. Like, I was really interested to see, I went in unspoiled, who was going to win between these two, right? Because do you keep Naito strong? Do you push the big up and comer? What's the plan there? And so I enjoyed that aspect of it. I will say, and I actually think Far has a good little summation here. It took way too long to get going, right? I am not one of these people who criticizes the New Japan main event formula. I like long matches. I really don't mind when matches go long if they earn that length. Like if I'm entertained by what's going on in front of me, go 30. I don't care, whatever, right?
Yeah.
However, for whatever reason, seriously, the first genuinely like 15 minutes of this match, I thought the like opening bell first couple minutes was pretty good, but then it was just kind of nothing. Like I couldn't tell you, and I watched it just a couple days ago, like a single thing that happened between a minute 30 and then like minute 18 of the match. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it was just wrestling.
It was like build up for build up's sake, trying to make it more than it was. But yeah, no, it wasn't a bad match by any means, but it just wasn't that top standard that you'd expect of a New Japan main event from these two.
Yeah, yep, agreed there. Okay, let's move on to two much better matches in my opinion. Semi-main here was Will Ospreay against Taichi. Taichi's been kind of what's the word when you get not de-pushed, but he's been less featured, right? De-emphasized.
They're cooling off on him a little bit.
Yeah, there was a while there where it seemed like he might be like, a never, after the never title gained in standing, post Intercontinental title, like he might contend for that. He might win, he might be a New Japan Cup contender or an outside block winner in a G1 or something like that. And of course, an IWGP heavyweight title contender. But last year, it just wasn't really his year for that. So, and he had kind of a mild G1. Like he was in a block where that block was completely focused on Jay White and Tama Tonga. He was really secondary to that. And then of course with the dissolution of Suzuki-gun, he's in now just 4 guys, which is not. I like it, but it's obviously not the most like inspiring start to a stable. You know what I mean?
It's like a Taichi that they've cooled off on, and then 3 juniors.
Yeah, it literally. Yeah. However, I thought this match was awesome between Will Ospreay. Of course, it's Ospreay. But, I mean, I think back to the G1 2020 when they wrestled each other, and this was like the prime doldrums of COVID. And it was on that spectacular G1 show that had like the Suzuki Ibushi match, and I think it was main evented by Okada Shingo. And then there was like Ishii and someone else as well. It was just a great show. And a lot of people had Ospreay and Taichi as the best match on that show, which is saying something. I was such a huge fan of this match. It was such this is a cliche, but it was such a love letter to Kawada and to like 4 Pillars matches, just big dropping bombs. There were like my biggest criticism of Taichi, and I think when Taichi's on, he is fantastic. My biggest criticism is he always does like. I feel like when he's on top and when he's being extra heelish, he does too much of like the choking and the stalling of being the pretty boy heel or whatever. And there was none of that in this match. This match was like go, go, go all the way, the entire way. It was great. What'd you think?
Yeah, agreed. This wasn't like the the usual methodical Taichi. This is just like all action. And Bree was it Bree Woo here makes I got our friend Bree Woo.
It's true.
You stick Taichi in these rehab matches because he can, like we just mentioned, they're cooling off on him. He can take a loss, and
he always has a singles match on New Beginning tours. It's always Taichi.
Yeah, but and then like Will Ospreay's Will Ospreay. We've talked like a ton about him on this podcast. He was our, for a lot of us, he was our wrestler of the year last year. And you know, if he keeps it up at this rate, he's going to likely be up there again this year. But yeah, excellent match.
Yeah, I thought I like this. Tai Chi's a gamer, so sometimes you got to sit up in his chair a little bit and lean forward at the TV, right? Because that makes you play better. Yeah, I thought this match was great. I thought it was a ton of fun. I love Ospreay. He's so awesome, and it's just like what's next for Ospreay, because he's literally like too good to not be constantly in title pictures or a champion, right? So it's like, where does he go from here? We'll see.
I'm kind of expecting them to, like, you know, loop back around to the Kenny match again at some point. But I'm waiting for Kenny to start doing more single stuff. You know, he hasn't had that Jeff.
Yeah, we'll see if he comes back to Japan at some point. Yeah. All right, so we had in the semi-main, we had what I thought was also a really good match. Like, this was like the big surprise match of the weekend for me. I like all 4 wrestlers, but I'm not kind of blown away by any of them, except Akira. I'm a big fan of. But this was United Empire, Francisco Akira, and TJP versus Yoshinobu Kanemaru and Doki, also of Just 4 Guys, for the IWGP Junior titles. This match completely blew away my expectations of what it was going to be. Like I said, I'm a huge Akira fan, and I wish they would kind of push him more as a singles guy in that junior division, because I think that the top of that division has gotten kind of stale. But man, this match was just great. The crowd was so into it, especially the Just 4 Guys team, which I did not anticipate at all. But there was just great, you know, everything felt intentional. Like, it was really targeted on TJP's leg selling, and also I think Doki's, as if I recall. That was really important. But there was they're just doing all these dives all over the place, and the pacing was so great. It wasn't like so fast to where it was hard to keep track of. Like, it was like they're just doing spots for spots, but it was paced really, really well. There was always something new happening. And I tell you, just Doki, the crowd just loves him. Like, they just love Doki. And he gets over, and he got a couple close near falls in on Akira towards the end there. That was like, whoa, they might do this. So I really enjoyed this match. I thought this was way better than even I anticipated.
Yeah, same. And just touch on, like, you know, the popularity of the Just 4 Guys team. I think, like, you know, towards the end of the life cycle, Suzuki Gun got really popular. And, you know, this entire stable is just like the remnants of Suzuki Gun. So I guess kind of like de facto, you know, it's still kind of the same sort of group. But yeah, I agree. It's just like super fun junior tag. And also agreed on Akira getting pushed up the card. That'd be great. I wouldn't mind seeing him being the one to beat Hiromu for the belt, you know, down the line.
Yeah,
that's really
me too. That would be great. Yeah, I thought this match was so good. It did not. It was just one of those. It's like, you know, they always got to have a junior tag title match on a tour. Yeah. So, and it's like, it's Kanemaru and Doki. It's not like these guys are like world beaters, right? But for whatever reason, they really put it together in this one. And of course, cheering helps a lot.
Yeah,
we're just going to touch on these because I actually didn't get a chance to watch them. But were you able to see Hiromu versus Yo, and then Saber versus Ishii from?
Yeah, I watched these two. I didn't catch any of the rest of the matches on the show, but I watched them because I thought they'd be, you know, good enough to do in our match ratings. But Ishii and Saber, you know, I love this. You know, this TV belt they've got. I think it's going to give us a lot of great, like, you know, because it's a 15-minute time there, right? Just, you know, nice. You're not going to get any of these Naito shows there. They're going to drag it out for way too long, right? And I think Zach's a perfect champion to have with that belt because, like, you know, he can do. You know, he's arguably like the best technical wrestler in the world, and then you give him a guy like Ishii who's just a beast. I think, you know, he creates a lot of good stuff. But yeah, this match was really good. Obviously, Saber coming out with the win. I don't think anyone expected them to drop the belt anytime soon. Only just got going. And then the junior match, I also thought was really good. Hiromu Takahashi versus Yo. I've not been like a huge fan of Yo. I don't know about you, but since they split, you know,
yeah, he's just been like waffling out there. He's just been a guy.
Not really been doing much. And then obviously
he made the finals of Best of the Super Juniors in 2021. I thought they were gonna like do something with him, but nope.
Yeah, it's been, you know, seems like the waiting to pull the trigger on him, but they never never decide to do it. But no, this was a great match for him. I thought.
By the way, he's like 35 now. Like
Really?
so is Show. Did you guys know they're like 35? He's showing Yo. So it's like I don't know if it's ever gonna happen.
They've been young forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They came back from Excursion 6 years ago. Wow. So that's how long it's been.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, this was a pretty good match. You know, obviously it helps the hero moves, like one of the best in the world at this junior wrestling thing. So, but yeah, wasn't like anything like crazy good, but you know, solid stuff for Yo, and hopefully they can build on it a little bit more. Maybe they'll finally like, you know, actually maybe push him or whatever. But we'll see.
All right, let's move to what I know you want to talk about, and I was thrilled with this show overall. This is Stardom Supreme Fight. Finally, after 3 years, the first show in the first Stardom show to have cheering, to have fans that could actually like cheer and react in a certain way, and it was great. It was so much great. It was so much better to have.
It was a great show,
and it was a great show, right? I thought Stardom had a kind of bad March, like even with the Triangle Derby stuff. Like you would at least think that with some of these teams, like the God's Eye team's pretty good, and there's the 7-Up team's good, and the Meltier team is good. And it's like you would at least expect some of these teams to have like some pretty damn good matches against each other, even with the 15-minute time limit. But I really haven't seen much of it in January. So to come out here, we're going to talk about, again, we're going to go in, let's see. Let's go fourth from the top on up. Okay, so we'll start with Mirai. I don't think there's much to report about the early in the show. I didn't care about the gauntlet at all. It was way too long. I didn't watch it.
I popped for the winner.
Saki Kashima, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she's getting a high-speed title match, which I think will be fun.
Yeah, good for her. She'll probably do pretty well on that. And then the only other real notable thing was Konami wrestled as part of the God's Eye team, but you knew how that match was going to go. So she got some. You know, the crowd was super loud for her at the start, which is nice. You know, I'm hoping she gets the bug and comes back. It's like it's odd to just do it like once every couple months. It's like, come on, Konami, let's do this. Okay, so we had for the first time Chihiro Hashimoto, a rare sight in a Stardom ring, taking on Mirai in a singles match, and I thought this was one of Mirai's best matches ever. I thought this match was great. This was the first, like, I don't like to talk about start ratings, although if you go to the Twitter page and you go to the pinned tweet, you can see my ratings for everything. I don't really like to talk about them that much, but this was the first 4-star match of Stardom's year, in my opinion, which I did not think was going to be a Mirai match, and I also didn't think it was going to be a Chihiro Hashimoto match, to be honest. But I thought this match was so good. I thought Hashimoto was a killer. I thought Mirai was a great babyface. I love, like, again, I have not been a huge fan of Mirai, and I appreciate my Portuguese friends' Rise Mirai Nation message. I will not be rising. I'll be staying seated. I think she's very boring a lot of the time. I do not find her to be very interesting a lot of the time when she wrestles. However, there have been moments, and I think back to the Mayu match last year too, on night 1 of the 5-star, that I actually thought was the best match on that show, which a lot of people disagreed with. Just there's these moments where she just gets a head of steam behind her, and she just like keeps firing back with these awesome lariats and shoulder blocks, and it just becomes like, okay, all right, this is what I want out of Mirai, and I got that here in the Hashimoto match. I thought this match was super physical, great suplexes. Chihiro Hashimoto is genuinely one of the best in the world. And I am stoked about the looming Shuri match. What about you?
Yeah, you know, just echoing everything you've said. You've probably seen, even if you didn't watch the show, you've probably seen the clips of the German suplexes.
You know, oh my gosh. There was one towards the end where I was like, Mariah's going to die. Like if she, this is like over for her.
But yeah, no, this was incredible. Like you said, you know, when she fires up, hits those lariats, Mariah is like, yeah, she's really good. You know, obviously, you know, not always the biggest fan, but you know, when she gets it going, I think she's like really, really good. And you know, like Chihiro Hashimoto. She reigned over Sendai Girls for like over 1,000 days. Pandemic kind of helped that, but she's absolutely one of the best. And like you said, we got that face off with Shuri after this match. I assume that's going to happen at the April show. They have is it All-Star Grand Queendom, something like that?
Yeah, isn't that in like March usually? I could be mistaken. I could be wrong.
I feel like they announced it for April. It's like the anniversary of.
You would know better than I would.
I think that they're trying to make it like the anniversary of Dream Slam All Japan, and they're going to have a bunch of different companies on it. So I feel like that'd be a big marquee match there. But yeah, this match was like incredible, and like you said, first like really big match that's delivered for Stardom this year, and I think the rest of the show kind of kept on that same level.
Yeah. So after this, we had the tag title match. It was 7-Up defending their tag titles against Micah and Himeka. The big takeaway, this was another great match, just really physical, really well worked. It didn't get to that next level where we're like, okay, this is like something special here for me. But the big takeaway from the match for me was Micah and especially Himeka are so popular. They're so over, which I didn't expect. I didn't really, it's not like I was thinking, I was like, oh man, nobody likes them. But yeah, I just did not expect them. Like the crowd loved them. And I also have to say on the flip side, the crowd was very, very quiet, very mild for Nanai, especially.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of interesting. Like I get they're supposed to be heels, but to a certain extent, but I don't know. The crowd did not seem to be that invested. They really wanted a title change here. They really wanted Mai Hime to win this match. But yeah, this was another great match. I'm not the biggest Himeka fan either, but I'm glad to see that she's super popular. And hopefully that like adds some enjoyment to the matches for me. I'm a big Micah fan though, and so to see that she's really popular was really cool too. So yeah, Jamie, tag title match.
Yeah, I love this one too. Himeka got an injury mid-match, which I don't know if they were. I assume they were possibly working. She was holding the knee a lot, but during that, Micah just kind of went wild. It was became a bit of a handicap match for a moment, and yeah, they were super popular. One of the things about this show, which was interesting, was seeing who was over or not. We've had like 3 years of just wrestlers just banging on the mat, and that's kind of all we've got. But yeah, it was nice to see that these two are really popular, and even though they weren't super popular themselves, I've loved this Nanai and Yu team. I thought they worked super well in this match. I'll be interested to see who eventually takes those titles from them. Obviously, we got some new challenges after this match, which I'm not sure if they'll be the ones. But yeah, I thought this match was like really good. I think they had matches in the goddess tag league. These two faced off, and I thought that was great. But I thought this was like the next level up from that. And this is one of my favorite tags of the year. I thought obviously the year so far. I think only the All Japan tag, the Kento and Yuma, and we're going to get to those two a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, I thought this was one of my favorite tags of the year. And then after this,
really good match. So yeah, then we had semi-main, which was oh, go ahead. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they were just after the match. They were challenged by BMI 2000. We've had that. I enjoyed BMI 2000 in the tag league. I thought they had a few decent outings, especially towards the end. I thought their match on the final day was pretty good. So we'll see what they can do here. They've been, they impressed me in the tournament, so I'm willing to give them a chance. But I don't think they're going to win.
From Jim Cornette, thank you, Jim. So we have got Andrew Tate and we've got Jim Cornette, everyone's favorite.
All the stars.
Yep. He said, hermanos, muchos saludos. Muchos saludos to you as well, Mr. Cornette. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. Thank you for the $1.99 super chat. We had, in our semi-main event, Saya Kamitani defending the Wonder of Stardom Championship, breaking the defense record against the person who previously held that defense record in Momo Watanabe. Jamie, I want you to kick this one off. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I like this one. I didn't think it hit the level that I thought it could, and I think that's kind of due to the kind of obvious nature of the the match. I think everyone kind of expected Saya to win, and she's held that title for over a year now. We all know that Mina's getting the match, and I think she'll win. I think part of that was like me wanting Momo to win.
So I kind of wanted Momo to win too.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people really rooting for her. Yeah, she's super popular, and a lot of people have been waiting for her to get another big singles push. But I thought this was a solid match, but didn't really hit the heights I thought it would. So, she botched she went for a 450 this time instead of the Phoenix Splash, and she kind of botched that as well. Landed on the legs instead.
Yeah, there were a couple big botches. Like took this one away for me. Like I don't know what they were cooking with the diving foot stomp to the outside on the table. Like, did you actually think that was gonna break? Like, I don't understand what the plan was. Like if you're trying to make that table break on a foot stomp, you need to like fully stomp Momo, which I don't think is like a good idea. So that was really weird to me.
They don't even use like classic WWE tables. Like they don't like gimmick them to hell.
It weighs like 125 pounds. It's like, bro, come on, man.
So I see like some big bumps taken on those tables and they don't break. So I don't know what they thought was going to happen here.
And of course, a lot of the Oedo Tai shenanigans. Like I get why they do it. You need to have a heel unit. I guess you need to have a heel unit. Like I don't know. Like Ice Ribbon doesn't have a heel unit, and they do pretty well. But like. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Of course, they want to try to instill that doubt that Momo could potentially win this match. But yeah, and I feel like I'm kind of talking like I'm down on it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was just really like purely entertaining from start to finish. Like I was entertained by everything they were doing. There were very few like slow or down moments to me, which is pretty important in a wrestling match. But also like some of the high end stuff that they did, it didn't really land all that well for me. So. Got Monty backstage. He's running things. He's telling you to like, subscribe, and super chat. How about you guys do that? Like, subscribe, and super chat if you haven't. Right? Okay. So, unexpectedly a bit short with underwhelming finishing moments. Overall was really good. Did expect more. Yeah, I think that's a pretty good estimation, pretty good summation of what we have. The first one was really aggressive, Monty. The first one was, if I can go back into the brand here, or do we have banners? Is it this guy? It's too much. That's simply too much. Like it doesn't need to be that big.
We should make it bigger. We should just go all the way. Just
cover it right. Faces.
Yeah. Go all
in. How about I start? I should. It would be fun to just like play with the brand. You know what? Like what if we're? Hey, I'm Diva. I'm a diva now. Hey, what's up? And I'm a purist now. Yep, that's me. Okay, anyway. All right, that's enough of that. Let's get back to Stardom, shall we? The main event here, Julia, in her first defense as champion, defending the World of Stardom Championship against Suzuki of Prominence. Jamie, I thought this match was awesome. This was an Ice Ribbon-ass match. These two have history from their time in Ice Ribbon. I thought what's going on? Someone has the Wrestle Purist. Like I can't tell who's typing what or who's messaging you, or if it's just Monty. But regardless, I've not sent any of these messages. Oh, I want to say something. Thank you, Lamora. I would have forgotten. I love Julia's new theme. It's great. It's so much more distinctive than her previous one, which wasn't a bad theme by any means. But I feel like there's a lot of themes in Japan that are a lot like Julia's previous theme. This one with the freaking Euro house, like garage style, like the plinking pianos in the back. Oh, it's beautiful. I love it. It feels like a big deal. I really, really love Julia's new theme. And I'm not even like a huge themes guy. Like I love music. Like, okay, Jamie, I don't know. Tell me if you're like this. You know how people post their like Spotify Wrapped and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
I get like weirded out when people have like wrestling music on it. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you listen to actual music? Okay, this is not real. And so anyway, I will not be listening to Julia's theme outside of this, but I do think the new theme is awesome, and I think it fits Julia really well and allows her to stand out even more. So, without further ado, Jamie, I would like you recap this match for us. Tell me what you thought.
Yeah, so I saw a lot of people who they didn't love this match as much as I think me and you did, and I think that's partly because it kind of had a bit of a, they were kind of doing a bit of technical wrestling, bit of groundwork in the build up, and I think
Match
people
had
wanted
really like sky high expectations too.
Yeah, oh yeah. Julia's first defense against a rival to the level of Suzu. They've kind of feuded, for like the whole year. But yeah, so it was kind of a slow build up, not like in like a bit of a nothing way, like we talked about with the Shota and Naito stuff. I really enjoyed, the technical start of this, and then they build up, and then after that it was just a whole huge suplexes. They go for the headbutts a lot. Julia loves a headbutt.
Yeah, the first headbutt was like 7 minutes in. It was like they're already going for it.
We're not wasting any time. straight into the headbutts. Well, no, I thought this was excellent. This is one of my favorite matches of the week. Obviously, a huge fan of both. But yeah, I thought it was a really strong first defense, and just a great way to end this first show back with cheering. Julia gets the big win. I also like the theme, which is it's an unpopular opinion by the sound of it.
Wait, really? A lot of people don't like the theme?
They don't like it.
What? Hold on, Israel. I'm going to get to what you said in a second. What? What do you people want out of wrestling? This is what.
Maybe.
Hold on.
Maybe I just follow like the Mikey Rook.
What's going on? Are you guys like Mikey Rook? We're going for a ride.
No, we're going for a ride.
And you're like, yeah, that's fire. Oh my God. No, the new theme is good. I'm stunned. I thought this would have been like a universally accepted opinion that like the new theme is good. I'm blown away, Jamie-san.
Maybe I follow the bad Stardom fans.
Yeah, maybe you follow the Star Drones who hate change and think everybody should be the exact same and everything like that. Anyway.
Yeah, I like their old theme, but I do agree it was kind of like just like a generic. It didn't really stand out too much. It could have been like anyone's theme.
Yeah.
But no, I really liked it.
Yeah, Isra, on the music thing, bro, you can't listen to you just can't listen to themes. Like you're not gonna it's not gonna work out for you if you're listening to Maria's theme and then you hear in your ear it's like SOS and you're like, I didn't want to hear that right now. I'm trying to listen to anything else. I'm trying to listen to Monster X right now, right? So anyway, we're the only wrestling music podcast. That's made me laugh. I think that's a reference to a movie that it's like okay, I don't want to say this. It's either like a Jackie Chan or Bruce Lee movie. But he like says who am I really loudly at the sky. So yeah. I thought this match was really great. I love the dynamic between the two. I love the like big sister, little sister vibe here. It's really good. Julia being just older, but really not materially more experienced than Suzu, because Suzu started so young, of course. Suzu accomplished way more in Ice Ribbon than Julia ever did. So I mean that's like an interesting aspect to it too. They have the past, and I think it just came together really well in this match. Super violent, as you would expect. Again, I think there was another German here where I assume, well, I guess I'm not sure. I assumed it was Suzu doing it to Julia. I mean, the top rope German was crazy, but I can't remember who was doing it to who. And I was like top of their head. It was like, wow, that was crazy. So yeah, I thought this match was excellent. This is by far the best Stardom match of the year so far for me. Didn't have the craziest competition so far, but still, to have that be your accolade, I think that's something to stand out for.
Yeah, well, all of its like competition was just the matches that happened, a few minutes earlier.
Right.
Other than this show, there hasn't been like any of that top level stuff. But yeah,
Jamie, what was the deal with the promo that Scarecrow's talking about here? Because I didn't stick around to watch promo segments or anything.
What did you?
Just Julia probably talking about future rematch stuff. Maybe Scarecrow.
Yeah, I mean,
in the comments.
I'm going to be honest. I don't speak Japanese, so
how dare you?
She could have said anything. I don't know. I'm sure it's great. If we have any translators
Scarecrow speaks a little Japanese. Maybe that's why I assumed it was just him reporting on stuff on Twitter. But anyway, yeah, great show overall. I thought this is why people have become such big fans of Stardom. Like, it's not just main events, it's not just titles. It's given us great talent, unique matchups that we haven't seen, and like none of those top 4 matchups except Saya versus Momo have we seen like regularly, right? So I really enjoyed this show, and I'm looking forward to what they have down the line. And of course, cheering, like, it just made the show so much better. I do think I was a little bit vindicated. I think I commented either last week or the week before that I didn't think cheering was going to matter quite so much for Stardom, because promotions that are dominated by male fans tend to have just less of that vocal cheering in matches. And I think that did happen, like, definitely at points during even the main event, it was kind of quiet. But yeah, I mean, if you get somebody in there who's insanely over, like Himeka is, like, they were going crazy for Himeka.
So. I think one of the reasons that Stardom did like so well during the pandemic, on top of the fact of like the quality of the shows from an in-ring point, I think they did well to have like a lot of the wrestlers around the ring making noise during matches. So I don't think they weren't wrestling to like complete silence during the pandemic. They kind of made their own atmosphere of it. And then just touching on one more wrestler who was super over, Waka Tsukiyama is so over.
Oh my god.
they're gonna pop
when she gets that win. Oh my god, the place is gonna come unglued wherever it is.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Have you seen? So Tam Nakano told her she's got 3 months to win. Have you seen who her like last match of that 3 months is?
Is it Mai Sakurai?
It's not. It's Nanai Takahashi.
Oh my god! No way. That would be crazy.
It's on, I believe. They're doing a New Blood pay-per-view. They're doing.
Oh my god! No way, bro. No, it's not. Now what they'll do it, and she'll get like a 3 count on a roll up or something, and then I'll kick out right at 3, and it'll be like, you didn't beat me, and she'll even get her fucking heat back afterwards. But goddamn, I love that.
It's gonna be
because
great.
Nanai, who I think is a great wrestler, who I think is one of the best wrestlers of her era, in fact, she's a bit of a mark for herself at times. Okay, just based on some of the results I've seen. I just think back to a few years ago when, in the lead up to Yoshiko and Nanai wrestling at the Stardom like All-Star show that was main evented by like Julia and Tam, it was Momo Watanabe, babyface like Queen's Quest Momo, and Saya Ida went to Seedling and wrestled a match against Nanai and someone else who I can't remember right now. Maybe it was Yoshiko. But just, it was like preposterous how little Nanai would sell for either of them. Like, she'd get hit with a suplex and she wouldn't even do like a fire up, like stand up. She'd literally just like stand up and like hit them. It was like preposterous. So I mean, we'll see what happens here. But man, Waka Tsukiyama beating Nanai it'd be a great way to end it. It'd be a great way to end it.
She's become a big part of like the whole Waka story over the last few months. She was involved in like they had a handicap match, and then she's obviously had matches on New Blood. So I hope she does the job. Puts her over, like you say, she can get the heat back. But yeah, just and then one more thing on Stardom before we wrap up. They announced for the February 17th Korakuen they'll bring a new trainees in, which is the first time they've done that since Miyu Amasaki. Yeah, they had
about a year ago.
Yeah, they had Miyu Amasaki last year, and then they had none in 2021, which is the first
Lady
ever year.
C, right? Wow, only one in like the last 2.5 years. That's crazy.
Yeah. But they specified trainees. We don't know how many. It could be like 2. It could be like I'd be shocked if it was any more than like 2 or 3 if it's multiple. But yeah, it's nice to see, because obviously Stardom, they've kind of got to the point where they can just lure their own like talent from elsewhere in, because they're at such a high level now. But it's nice to see they're still producing their own talent. But it'll be interesting to see where those trainees lie, what kind of wrestlers we've got on our hands.
Obviously, they've got a lot of career ahead of them. I would say they're like 0 for their last 2 right now. like Lady C's been wrestling for 2.5 years, and I think she's like straight garbage still. Miyu Amasaki is like charismatic and everything, and she's obviously got a great look, and she'll be very popular, right? But has she ever had a good wrestling match at this point, like a year in?
She's absent a lot.
And she's also just gone, right? Like,
yeah,
come wrestle. Come wrestle.
I think she was announced that she wasn't going to be in this Gauntlet match, but she was in it. But yeah, she either keeps getting ill or injured, or she has something else going on. I don't know. But hopefully,
anyway,
we get some new.
Yeah, hopefully get with some real workers here instead of just having to like steal from like the remnants of Actress girls and things like that. And Ice Ribbon, by the way. Yeah. So anyway, because Ice Ribbon brings like 6 new trainees in a year, and then like 3 of them retire by the end of the year. It's kind of how they do things. This is an interesting question. Are we going to talk about the Asahi thing, or is it too personal for the show? Seems like she's going through something serious. Yeah. So Asahi, I mean, like my favorite wrestler in Japan right now, had a bit of like an episode this weekend, I guess you could say, where she's really going through some like familial problems, from what I understand. Like Yappy, who is a wrestler for Ice Ribbon who speaks English, posted a pretty detailed report of it, which I thought was kind of odd. Like, I thought it was weird that they went this specific into things, but essentially just Asahi is having disagreements with her parents, and she's 20, so she's old enough to make her own decisions, right? But no, she's older than no, she is. Maybe she's 21 now. I think she may have just turned 21. Regardless, she's so there was like, she was publicly tweeting a lot, some kind of concerning things. She ended up like essentially barricading herself in the Ice Ribbon dojo office, which is kind of odd and surreal to think about. But everything seems to be fine now. Like, she's wrestling for Pure J this weekend, so she'll be back. I'm not too worried about it, but it's always a little concerning. Like, always certain things flash back to May 2020, right? And so so you never want to have that feeling, right?
Yeah, but we love Asahi here. I've not seen as much as you have. Obviously, you're the Ice Ribbon guy here, but I've seen a lot in recent times, and she's amazing. We love Asahi here.
Yeah, we do. We love and support Asahi. If they were to, if she were ever to see that, I hope you get that, Asahi. All right, okay. Anything else to talk about with Stardom, Jamie?
They've announced a few matches for an upcoming Stardom Showcase, which I think are always.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, I've not seen this.
I've not got it down. I'll try and remember a few of them. So Syuri and Saki Kashima are doing a UWF rules match, which I think that'll be fun. I don't know if you kept up with the storyline, but Saki Kashima is like batshit terrified of Syuri.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, that was like she was like asking to have her block moved in the 5-star last year.
Yeah, did you see when they did the press conference for the Triangle Derby? She started talking shit about Syuri, and then she was like, "Oh, she's staring at me." But
I love it. That's great.
They did a little backstage promo. She's like fired up. She's like, I'm not scared of Syuri anymore. I'm gonna call her out. And then like Syuri enters the shot, and she's like, "Whoa!" Yeah,
that's exciting. That'll be fun. I think it should be entertaining.
I think they were meant to do that match a little while ago, and I think they had to cancel it for one reason or another. So it's good that
I have yet to see a Stardom and Showcase show like be really like great from top to bottom. It's definitely them trying new things just for funsies. I'd say it's been more of a hit than a miss, but it hasn't really blown me away. And it's like, when you think about the opportunity cost between doing Stardom and Showcase or doing, for example, another big show at that arena, or maybe just one that's like, maybe there's there's like a special tag match. Maybe it's like, for example, at this last pay-per-view, maybe they do like Julia and Micah versus Risa Stara and Suzu Suzuki to set up the singles match, and they go like 20 minutes or something. And I would almost prefer that, like typical booking than doing Stardom and Showcase. But
yeah, I'm maybe a little more high on them. I think like starting to do so many pay-per-views, it's like kind of ridiculous. So I think every now and again sprinkle in one of these, but you just have like every match is like a crazy gimmick match or something like that. And you get the odd stinker or something. You get like your Cosmic Rules match or something like that. But then on the other hand, you get like a fun, like high speed Force Count Anywhere match, which is like those are always highlights. Speaking of which, we have one of these on this show. I'm trying to remember.
That's who's in it.
Yeah, so they announced initially Azumi and Momo Hanazono, who I think.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, and I think she'll thrive in this sort of match. And then so Natsu Sumire is in it, and I believe the fourth is Hanan, I think.
Oh, weird. Okay. Yeah, so, I like Hanazono. She wrestles for Oz Academy and Collega Pro, so hopefully she gets out of that shit. Because she's one of those wrestlers that's like, why is she not signed by Stardom? She's wrestled for him multiple times. She's good. She's popular. Just like sign her, right? I'm a fan.
She's been one of the regulars on these New Blood shows and stuff. So I think it's kind of a bit like Tomoka and Naba. They should have her around a lot. I feel like it'll be a matter of time before they grab.
$4.99 super chat from Skip here. Michael Jordan would have more 5-star matches than anyone if he wrestled. MJ is greater than anyone. Okay, all right. Okay.
Presenting new ideas. He's got good
size. I feel like he could build out his probably physique a little bit more. Obviously, a great athlete. I mean, he'd hit a better missile drop kick or a bigger like standing drop kick than anybody. I don't know if he'd be willing to do dives though. I think that might be.
I'm not sure. Skip. Who would your dream Michael Jordan?
Yeah. I'm curious, Skip. Who's your dream MJ match?
I want to know. I want to know who you put him in there with.
I was going to say, out of everything, he's probably most likely to show up on Stardom and Showcase. So,
well, if there's one match he could reveal himself to be a part of, it might be the next one because we have a trios match. It's a very gimmicky trios match. We have the Stardom Machines.
Nice!
Super strong Stardom Machine, super strong Giant Stardom Machine, and X. We don't know who this third machine is. Any guesses as to
Saida, Lady C? Man, I have no idea.
Who's the third machine?
They've got the shortest wrestler and they have the tallest wrestler. So, like, what else is there to do?
I don't know.
Maybe we'll just have to do our classic thing of finding out who's not on the show and doing MJ. Yeah. Oh, really? This is your dream MJ match? Is Miz?
Miz?
I don't know.
He did say he could have a 5-star match with anyone. So. We're really putting that to the test.
I would be quite impressed to see the Miz have a 5-star match. Super strong bear machine from Scarecrow. I would love to see Koguma in the super strong mask. I think that's good stuff.
But that they'll be taking on another masked team. It's the Grim Reapers. So we don't know which Grim Reapers there are. Obviously, we've had the Nanai and Yu. That's kind of where they got their start or come back in Stardom, and I believe Yuna Manasseh was a Grim Reaper at one point. Also, the last time we saw one of the Grim Reapers, they just didn't unmask, so we still don't know who that one is. So I'm assuming like 2 of them will be like the regulars, and then maybe we'll have like a new Neo Stardom Army member. A lot of people for a while have thought Chihiro Hashimoto will join the group purely because Yu's already in it.
That would make sense, but
I don't know. We'll see, but that should be fun. It'll be interesting to see who they go with for these these mystery competitors. Trying to think if there's anything else on this show. There's a muscle contest apparently.
Super strong machine in it. Super strong Stardom machine.
Well, Saya Ida's in it. I don't know about the super strong Stardom machine, but Saya Ida's in it.
I've just seen super strong Stardom machine's physique. It's pretty good. It's pretty similar to Ida's though. So maybe that's fine.
They should do one. They should do a muscle contest of themselves. Yeah. But she'll be taking on Chan Yota in this muscle contest.
Ooh.
they did one like I think I don't know if it was announced prior, but they've done one of these before on one of these Stardom and Showcase shows, but they had like a ton of wrestlers in it. It's just like this is random. I didn't realize they were going to do it. They just all started coming out and go, but,
Chen Yoda's pretty popular, I'd say.
She's very charismatic. She's
Yeah.
she does a lot of fun stuff in these press conferences.
But can she wrestle? That's what we're concerned with. Okay, let's move on from Stardom for a little bit. Let's talk about, let's see, do Dragon Gate. Let's do Dragon Gate first. All right, let's talk about this Rey de Parejas again. Sorry, Murph Burner. This is what you get for being at a school event. I'm sorry, not a school event. What's he do? He's storming. He's implicated in Brazil. Yeah. Anyway, he's harboring Jair Bolsonaro. Sorry. I guess that's too much to be on your podcast that you're a part of. All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about. Did you watch the Dragon Gate show from Korakuen?
So I haven't seen the whole show, but I did check out one specific match that I saw.
Semi-main, Doyama versus Dragon Dia. Yeah, so go through it. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I just thought it was like super fun. Obviously, I'm not like I'm no Murph. I'm no expert on Dragon Gate, but I'm familiar with a couple of these guys, to a decent extent. But no, I thought it was really fun. I'm looking forward to checking out more of this tag tournament stuff. But yeah, it's the kind of match that made me want to check out a bit more of what Dragon Gate have got to offer this year. But yeah, I just thought it was pretty fun stuff.
Yeah, I thought this match was great. This is also accurate, Kyle. Thank you for specifying that. I thought this match was great. I love Doyama. They're one of the best tag teams in Dragon Gate history. And I'm a huge fan of Yamato specifically, who I think is he's one of the 5 best like closing stretch wrestlers in the world. He just keeps up that energy. He hits like his finishers and like signature moves have so much like a burst and explosiveness behind them that it's just really, really engaging and entertaining every time he does that. So yeah, I thought this match was great as well. Doyama, they might be the favorites in this tournament. They picked up the victory. Just giving a bit of a recap for the rest of the show, I thought all 3 of the other matches were also really good. Yasushi Kanda was like shockingly like good and over in his tag match with Susumu against the Strong Machine teams. That was a lot of fun. We had the future versus past battle where we had Mochizuki and his son against Ishin, who's Mochizuki Jr.'s big rival. So that was really entertaining. And then the main event was a lot of Yuki Yoshioka versus Kota Minoru, which is of course a rematch of the open of the main event of Night 2 of Kobe World last year. So to see that in a big time tag match in the main event of Korakuen was really cool to see. And we saw BB Hulk get a win as a part of Gold Class. So yep, I enjoyed the start of Rey de Parejas. They are we'll see every single match on it. Jamie might not see it, but it's possible to see every single match on it. All the matches that they're not putting on Dragon Gate Network, they are uploading to YouTube as a part of this tournament. And the teams are just really good. Like it is night and day compared to the New Japan Tag League, right? With how boring a lot of their selections were. So I'm really looking forward to watching the rest of this league. Even like we didn't see a Shun Skywalker and Kai tag yet on that first show. And so that's somebody who I'm really excited. That's a team that I'm really excited to see. I'm trying to think, are there any other big teams that we didn't see? Oh, Jason Lee, the Kung Fu Masters. Jason Lee and Jackie Funky Kamei were not on that show as well. So lots of teams we have yet to see, and some really cool matchups in there.
Yeah, well. There's some big matches coming up. I'm looking forward to checking out a little bit more this year. But yeah, this was a lot of fun.
Okay, I think we'll close out our recap stuff by talking about some All Japan, which is maybe my favorite men's promotion in Japan. Only really like, all right, so there's a goddamn electric blast current death match exploding barbed wire bat match on this show for the All Asia tag titles. Okay, this may upset some people. I would like Atsushi Onita to retire and stay retired and stop being a mark for himself and stop inserting himself in promotions that I like, in places that I like. because every single exploding bat match that he does now is the exact same. They do a lot of boring, like wrestling around and brawling, and then they arbitrarily decide to get in the ring and they do an explosion that looks like it doesn't suck at all. It looks very fake, and then the match is over. And that's what they do every time, and I'm very bored by it. And I don't want to see Onita at 65 years old. 65 years old. So he's 6 years older than Muto. By the way, so we have like Icon 115 saying, Onita will not retire. Onita wrestled a retirement match before I was born. I'm 27. I have a college degree. And yes, Onita wrestled a retirement match in front of like 70,000 people, by the way, against Hayabusa before I was even born. So that should tell you how long he's been out this. So let's move past that. Let's get to some of the exciting stuff on the show. In the semi-main, Atsuki Aoyagi defended against Kotaro Suzuki, which is a cool matchup because Kotaro Suzuki, he's technically a freelancer, been spending pretty much all of his time in Noah over the last couple of years, but over the last month or so, he's shown up in both All Japan and DDT. So it was really cool to see this match. Did you watch this one, Jamie?
I didn't manage to catch this one. I've only seen the big match that we're gonna get to.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
I heard good things, so I do plan on checking this out at some point.
Let's get into that main event then. Kento Miyahara, the god, maybe the greatest wrestler in the world, defending the Triple Crown Championship against Yuma Aoyagi, his former tag team partner, his good friend, in the main event here. By the way, this is like 1,400 people at this show. It was a big crowd for, and I believe this was the first ever wrestling show at this arena. It was like Tochogi Center Gymnasium or something like that. But a really good crowd and a really hot crowd too for this main event between Kento and Yuma. I'm just going to go on here. Like, Kento is just so good.
He's amazing.
So, like his charisma and his facial expressions and his timing and his like grunts that he makes and all that types. Like he's like deceptively a fantastic athlete too. Like he comes out of nowhere with these blackout knees and he's a great seller too. Like he seems like he's just beat after every match. And yeah, I just thought he was so awesome in this match. This was a rematch from, they've wrestled a million times at this point, but most recently they wrestled for the Triple Crown title in Sapporo last year in what I thought was one of the 10 best matches of the entire year last year. I do not think this will end up being one of my top 10 matches of the year. Just because I didn't really think there was going to be a title change here. A lot of people were really wanting that Yuma title change, but I'm such a Kento fan. Like he's so clearly like the best guy in the company for me that I'm like, just keep it with, unless you get someone obvious. Maybe we'll get that title change in 2 weeks, by the way, because the result of this was that the next challenger is Yuji Nagata at Korakuen. So we'll see, because Nagata pinned Suwama clean with a backdrop suplex in an earlier match, which is a really rare for Suwama to take a pinfall loss. So regardless, this match was so good. The drama was great. The near falls at the end were great. Jamie, what'd you think about this?
Yeah, I love this match. This is my favorite match of the week, and like I'm big of a Stardom fan. I am, but this was like, I love this match. This is topped everything for me. I know. Just before I touch on the match itself, like Kento Miyahara, you've been pushing it for like a long time. I know, but like, well, the Dumb Guy Live as a platform, we need to push. Like Kento Miyahara is what
he was our profile picture. He was the background of the original bro.
He is easily one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like he's incredible. I've not, but by no means have I seen as much of him as you have. But like, I'm like very locked in to everything he does this year.
He's just the best, dude. Like the charisma is just off the charts.
Yeah, it's been great. Like seeing all the the guys in the group chat this week. They've been talking about him. I know Manny mentioned them on their pod yesterday.
It's like, bro, I've been saying this for years, man. You gotta trust me when I say All Japan's good.
yeah. But yeah, no, this is incredible. I loved I think possibly my favorite spot of this match. They did a big German suplex like off the apron. Kento just chucked them off the apron. I love that. And there was like no downtime in this, but it was just all action, just going for it. Yeah, it was amazing. Like if you haven't seen this match, then absolutely out of anything this week, I'd employees to check that one out. And I'm I'm looking forward to watching a lot more All Japan as well this year. This is another promotion that I'm like very locked into now.
It's a great promotion. I genuinely like all the wrestlers. Like, there's so few. Like, they always have one undercard match where they'll throw like looking like Yoshitatsu and Black Mensore and everybody else, and it's like they can have their fun. They can have their goofy, weird fun. Practically everybody else on the roster is like really, really good. Like, and they've finally built, even with Jake Lee's departure, they've built a little bit of depth here, especially with Naoya Nomura and Takuya Nomura becoming more regulars, and like Suzuki's now a regular, right? Minoru Suzuki was on, or was he even? I can't recall if he was even on this show. No, he wasn't. But yeah, but I mean, but Suzuki has a faction in All Japan. It's him and Hokuto Omori, who's now a heavyweight. Like, they're moving him up. They're clearly to me, Suzuki and Omori are the next tag title challengers, because they have a tag match at the Korakuen show that's coming up where they'll just like win easily, and I assume they come out and challenge later on. So yeah, I mean, just having all this depth, all these great wrestlers. You've got Shotaro Ashino and Ryuki Honda, and they're great too. So I'm just thrilled. I love this promotion. I love that on these local on the house show circuit, there's like literally any match you throw Kento into, it becomes like almost must watch for me. Kento is that good. You put him in a match, like they'll do all these permutations with essentially Yuma and Atsuki on one side, and then Kento and Rising Hayato on the other side, and then you'll just throw like another permutation, like you'll put Kotaro Suzuki on one side, or you'll put Oji Shiba on the other side or something, and it's just always great. It's always so entertaining. So yeah, I can't.
Yeah, it's obviously like, the history that All Japan has. They've been you've not seen like a ton of buzz about it in the last few years. You've been pushing it for a long time, which I know. But like, you've had like, obviously New Japan's been huge for years now, and then Noah's had like some really great years recently. But yeah, it's nice to see All Japan getting some love now, and just like I say, just looking forward to what's to come next.
So just coming up on the next Korakuen, I can talk about that really quickly because it's a big show, and I genuinely think there might be a title change here. But it is in the main event, Kento defending against Yuji Nagata for the Triple Crown. Yuji, as indicated by a comment, who said that here? Icon said, yeah, so this is Nagata's chance to become the fourth guy to hold all three championships. I think that's after what, Sasaki, Muto, and Kojima, right?
Yeah, Kojima.
Yeah. So that's really exciting. I don't want Kento to lose, but again, it's Yuji Nagata, so it's like it's New Japan guy. He's the best of the dads, in my opinion. Legend. So we'll see. Semi-main, Atsuki Aoyagi defends against Naruki Doi. I really want Doi to win this title. I'm a big Atsuki fan, but Doi's just a next level kind of guy, right? Genuine top guy in Dragon Gate for years. So I'm really looking forward to that one too. And then elsewhere on the card, yeah, this is a big time match. It's Yuma Aoyagi and Naoya Nomura versus Minoru Suzuki and Hokuto Omori. Right now, this is not for the tag titles. So they might do like a draw, or they might do something odd there, but it's got to, or they may just change it to a title match at some point. Yeah. But this is obviously leading somewhere. And I mean, the talent involved there, that's a big time match with a lot of talent there. And also there's lots of New Japan, like all the New Japan Young Lions are on the show. So Nakashima, Oiwa, Fujita, and Oscar. Is that Loiba? Is that how you'd say that? He's on there too. And then Toru Yano's on the show as well, weirdly enough. And Taguchi and Master Wado. So there's lots of
all the stars.
All the stars. Hey, I love Taguchi.
Me too.
So that's the All Japan report. There was I didn't get a chance to watch it. I appreciate Scarecrow pointing this out. I guess there was a Noah Korakuen this week that had Iho de Dr. Rector Jr. defending the national title against Manabu Soya. A lot of people said that match was really good. Also, Daga, Tessa Blanchard's ex. Did they break up? But former AAA, like Latin American champion, he made his Noah debut on this show as well. He was in a 10-man elimination tag with all the juniors, which seemed like a lot of fun too. So I'll definitely be checking out that as well. There was also there was a Kojima versus Masa Kitamiya singles match. Like there was a lot on this show, and of course hype for Kiyomiya versus Jack Morris coming up here. Okay, I think that's about gonna wrap it up. Is there anything going on in the future that we want to preview or announce? Like next weekend's actually pretty damn quiet for except for New Beginning in Osaka, of course.
There's the there's the big loser leaves New Japan match coming up pretty soon. Right. I think we got Jay White and Hikuleo, both two wrestlers, the Fed ones apparently.
The Fed.
So, yeah, we'll see what goes down there. Do you think like genuinely either of these two is like actually leaving, or do you think it'll be like they're gonna do because it just says leaves Japan?
So that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like my guess is Hikuleo goes over and sorry, not goes over in this match, goes over to America and just like wrestles there for a while, or just like maybe they're like Hikuleo still fucking sucks, which they might be like, and so they're like, we need you to disappear for a long time, like retrain your ass off, repackage yourself, and then get back at it because despite being really tall, that's about all he is. He's nothing besides that. So lots of big matches on this show. Okada and Shingo for the World Heavyweight title. Obviously, practically no chance of a title change here, but I mean, that's an awesome matchup, and it should be a great match, right?
Absolutely.
Tama Tonga versus El Phantasmo for the Never title. I love Tama Tonga. These are two wrestlers that I think have a big range of outcomes in terms of how good their matches can be. There are a lot of really good Tama Tonga and El Phantasmo matches individually. I don't know if they've ever actually wrestled each other. And there are a lot of really bad Tama Tonga and El Phantasmo matches too. Yeah. So we will see what they do there, but I don't think we're getting a title change there either.
Yeah, I think like fans being able to cheer again, I think that'll help this match. Oh,
Tom is going to be so over.
Tom is super over, right? He's going to be he's going to be fired up. So I think we might get we might get a pretty decent match out of that one there.
Yeah, it's second from the top on New Beginning in Osaka. I mean, that's pretty big. So this is the one title match I think on this entire tour, because there've been no title changes on this tour, right? This is the one that I think that we actually may get one, and this is the Never Openweight 6-man tag title match. Oh, yeah. House of Torture, Evil, Yujiro, and Sho defending against Minoru Suzuki, Ren Narita, and El Desperado. I don't know a single New Japan fan who would rather see the champions retain here. Either way, I would love a title change here.
I follow one guy on Twitter, and I don't know whether it's ironic, but I think he like loves Yujiro. I don't know, so maybe him, but
I don't know about that.
I would agree. I was very excited when they paired Narita with Suzuki and Desperado. It's nice to see Desperado and Suzuki still sticking together. We've got the Suzuki on breakup. There's still a few like pals in there. So when they broke up,
Desperado was Suzuki's second in the 2018 G1. This is what he's here for.
Yeah, all the Suzuki guys, when they broke up, they were like, I'm just not gonna have any friends anymore. And then like Taichi's
like they all still have friends.
Yeah, they're all just still mates. But that should be fun. I would expect a title change.
Yeah, it'd be cool if it was like Narita pinning Evil or something like that. I'd be pretty happy with that. Two more big matches on this. Well, I guess one's kind of like Tanahashi versus Kenta. That's a rematch from Wrestle Kingdom last year. So some big stuff there. We'll see what they do. I think Kenta's like borderline washed for me.
Go back to Noah. Stay there.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like, but Tanahashi's Tanahashi. Like I have never seen a bad Tanahashi singles match that didn't have like House of Torture, Bullet Club crap in it. So like it's Tanahashi. Of course it's going to be great. Then Ishimori versus Master Wato in a singles match. I assume this is going to inform who our next junior title challenger is, this singles match here. So we'll see. All right, that is gonna do it for our preview. I guess then Max Hart tournament final. Like, who cares? Fucking TJPW. Miyu Yamashita and Maki Ito versus Shoko Nakajima and Hyper Misao. I don't know why Hyper Misao is in the finals of a tag tournament that you're putting together, but TJPW does their thing. They're the storytelling promotion. Everybody.
Oh yeah, I love a good TJPW story.
Love that story.
Just
Yeah, but yeah, there's like, oh, and of course there's Great Voyage. There's Kaito defending the title against Jack Morris. But it's kind of a middling show outside of that. Like Dralistico's debuting. That's kind of cool. The tag title challengers are Kitamiya and Daiki and Abba, which is like not that thrilling. So it's kind of a middling show for a Noah show with a GHC heavyweight title match on it. But it's a big test for friend of the show, Jack Morris. All right.
Yeah. Just one more thing before we get on to I assume we're moving on to the Beast of the Week segment maybe soon. We've getting a bit close to Battle in the Valley now. I want to say, what's your take on them putting? I saw them. The guys discussed it on Worldwide last night. I didn't realize the show was on the same night as Elimination Chamber. I mean, I know which one I'm more.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, but so they were talking about like, they've paid all this like huge money reportedly for Mercedes Vanado, putting her on this, they're pushing this expansion into America, and they've slapped it on the same night as like a WWE pay-per-view, which is obviously going to have a lot of eyes in America on it. I don't know what your take on that is.
I think it's obviously just like a coincidence. My guess is they didn't plan for that. I don't think they'll struggle in terms of like tickets or anything, but it could definitely limit some of those pay-per-view buys. But it's interesting timing. I'm so excited to see Mercedes and Kyrie though. That's gonna be so good. So we'll give a full preview of that show next week for sure. You guys can stay tuned and look forward to that. I mean, there's a ton the following weekend. There's that All Japan show, of course. There's by the way, Keiji Muto's last show at the goddamn Tokyo Dome. Like that's kind of big, right? So we'll be talking about all of that stuff this time next week. So without further ado, let's get into the deal here, which is our Beast of the Week. Oh, the Beast. That's me. I'm a gorilla and I'm jacked. Okay, Jamie, who's your Beast of the Week?
Well, before I go, I want to put out. I'm going to ask you: are you going to nominate the person that I think you're going to nominate for Beast of the Week?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay, then I will.
Okay, go for it.
My Beast of the Week is Kento Miyahara. Just like this was a real like eye-opener match for a lot of people who haven't really been given All Japan a chance. I've seen a lot more buzz about this match than I have about like pretty much any All Japan match in like a good while. And he's easily one of the best wrestlers in the world. This match is amazing. Like I said before, I love the the German suplex like off the apron. He's like clinging on for dear life. But yeah, no, this is incredible. And we've already said a ton about Kento, but I voted for him as my wrestler of the week this week. Samoa Joe won, and he's like very beast, so that's that's fine by me. But that Kento Miyahara is insane. So he's my Beast of the Week.
See, I'm also going to vote for my wrestler of the week for Beast of the Week, and I frankly think Samoa Joe was the second best wrestler in that main event on Dynamite. My Beast of the Week is Darby Allin, who this week on Dynamite did everything and then some to destroy his body and his health for our own entertainment. And my God, it was entertaining. And my God, did he destroy himself in that match. I am a huge fan, I've talked about this on the show, of wrestlers who go that extra step to either get over or to be entertaining or to do something spectacular, more so than you would expect out of what you're seeing in front of you. And there are few wrestlers in the world that I think like personify that standard more than Darby Allin. He just gets it. He's just a guy who gets how to make matches that are entertaining, that you have to watch because you're like, oh my God, this guy's going to do something incredible. Like if you're giving me something that genuinely nobody else in the world can give me, which is which is true. There is nobody else in the world who's given me what Darby Allin has given me on a week-to-week basis on AEW. Then I think that makes you one of the best in the world by extension. He took so much unbelievable punishment in this match. He took the time. Now, this is maybe the most beast thing he did. He took the time to glue about 807,000 little thumbtacks onto a jacket just for one spot where he ran at Joe and then like stuck him with him. And then it's like, oh, wow, those are probably all gimmicked. And then you look at the mat and they're real thumbtacks. Yeah. You're like, what was your plan? He's insane. He tries insanely hard. He is one of the best in the world at what he does. So really quickly, this question, I mean, in terms of days, yeah, he already has the days record for longest champion. Obviously, he's never going to draw to the level of Kobashi or Misawa did, and those would kind of be the other two in the conversation, I'd say. But I mean, if you're talking about a guy who meant the most to their promotion at a given time, like I think it's possible that you take away either Kobashi or Misawa, and All Japan is still great in the early 90s.
Yeah.
If you take away Kento over the last decade, All Japan's kind of nothing. So I think that could make him one of the best. But so our beasts of the week, speaking of Kento Miyahara and Darby Allin. That's going to do it for us this week, everybody. Please like, subscribe, and follow this account. I mean, obviously follow Jamie as well, but really follow this account. Follow Dumb Guy Live on Twitter. We're going to be a lot more active in like promoting and stuff on that account. So it would mean a lot if you supported us through that. And then next week we'll have our conservative brother Murph back on to talk about some Muto preview. All right. So for Jamie, it's P. We're going to see you next time on Dumb Guy Live.